we know from time that there is such a thing as a casting couch. And we know from time there were women and men who were willing to take a seat on that couch.
The Podical sound.
Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Watch your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny, but funny.
What's up, everybody? I'm Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start the show. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above, all streaming platforms possible. PodicalSons.com.
We are here.
Search Podical Sons Podcast on your streaming platforms and on social medias to participate in the polls of the week as well. Podical Sons Podcast. That's where you search for the socials. Start the show. How you feeling today?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Not complaining and stuff, whatever. I got some things to discuss and stuff with you on this week's show.
Okay.
Might be a little, might be kind of nuclear to some, Yeah. We'll call it Marvoshima.
Yeah, I mean, we can always be happy joy to the audience.
Sometimes
we
gotta pack this week. This week it wasn't that. Not too many things happened.
Right.
But the things that did happen had gravity to it.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, while we're here, condolences to those in Taiwan.
What happened in Taiwan?
The earthquake?
No, I didn't hear about this. When did it happen?
Oh, no?
When did it happen?
I believe it was 2-3 days ago.
Okay.
7.4.
Wow, how many lives?
Only 10.
So a good portion of Taiwan had a quake, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they trying to invade Taiwan?
Now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I never heard of them. Like, when you said Taiwan, I was like, did they make a move on Taiwan? Was it man-made or did they plan it? Nevertheless, lives were lost. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers.
Oh, stop. Nah, I ain't hear about this. What, Friday?
I think so. If not the Friday, then maybe the Thursday.
Gotcha. Nah, man. Well, let's get with it then. And then let's see what's popping off and stuff. And we can talk for the week shit. So, first poll of the week said, do men like drama? And 76% said yes.
Which men are those?
Because this is a woman's world. Yo, because I like, okay, as a man, do you like drama?
No, I like my world drama free.
I like my world drama free.
I like my world drama free.
So, well, clearly, you and I are the only ones that voted and
right.
stuff, whatever. But
they weren't thinking of us when they were voting.
I did, like, in the process of me taking a screenshot.
Yeah.
I did look at some of the...
See who is who?
Let me see who is who.
Okay.
I don't like some of the traitors.
Oh, man.
There were some of our ilk.
We'll speak after. We'll unpack that after.
Unpack that now. Hey, did you sell your penis, your vagina? Yo. First of all, I heard some women's arguments and stuff, right? Especially like women I've asked.
Yeah.
Now they said that men are the first ones that kind of dare when their woman, like 9 times out of 10, wants to spill the tea.
Okay.
On a situation and stuff like that. So if they're gonna spill the tea on a situation and be like, oh, babe, you don't believe what happened and stuff, whatever. Such and such is cheating on Tata Lalicious. The dude might not be fully into this stuff. Be like, let me tell you how it happened, how I found out, how and then he's kind of in the mix.
Yeah.
Now, whatever, right? Now I want to say there's some dudes be like, all right, this is where I stop and I'm going to opt out. Maybe this ain't your business. Stick your nose in. Congratulations, those are those dudes.
Right.
But the other dudes that just sit there and take it, no, they for the drama. They're for the drama. So when they said it like that, I was like, dudes would take the drama and stuff for sure because they don't want no static with their woman. So they're like, yeah, they have a dramatic woman.
You're right.
and their woman helped them be this drama king. I was like, K Slay?
They've been pulled into the situation.
I was like, that's crazy.
Willingly and unwillingly.
That one I seen and stuff like coming from a mile away. So I kind of get where they're coming from.
Right.
On that aspect and stuff. Do you think of any of the cases where, men like drama? I think if you're going to quantify, well, gay men are still men.
Yeah.
And I feel like shit like RuPaul Drag Race or most reality shows and stuff rely around drama.
Most reality shows would rely around drama.
So I look at it stuff as where that now some people might beg to differ and stuff on the sexuality of the man.
Yeah.
Because someone would say because gay men tend to try to act more feminine.
Right.
And drama is more of a feminine trait.
Yeah.
I don't really want to put it like that, whatever.
No, but even when you said reality shows, I thought of like Big Brother. And it's I think
like creating the scandals and stuff on there and like
men
the
on
traps.
there are into the drama
They're
as well.
into the drama.
So,
Yeah. You're right. So I'm not a drama king.
Yeah.
I leave that to K-Slay. All right.
Far from it.
Let's get to the next poll. Next poll says, are you too nice? And this said 100%.
Really?
100. Are you too nice?
Sometimes. Sometimes I'm too nice.
101 Dalmatians over here.
Sometimes I'm too nice.
I think for the majority part, I'm probably not.
Right.
And the reason why I say that and stuff is I look at something collective of even the people and stuff around me. If I'm going to say yes or something like that of some regard to somebody that I know, I think it's for more so a purpose of what I'm able to do and I guess what the person's worth in my world.
Right.
Where I'm willing to do whatever I can and stuff for them. So if they ask me something like, could I not borrow some money or could I have a kidney or some shit like that? I want to be like, I don't know if we're the right match. I'm like, hell no, fuck no, I still got drinking to do. Yeah. So I'm just going to explain it to like.
I need my kidney.
Yeah. So I think for the most part, where I feel like most people might got me twisted is I have manners.
Yes.
So because I have manners and stuff, you might assume that I'm nice.
They might have mistaken it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I look at it as just because the person has manners doesn't make them nice.
Right.
Like the devil could say, welcome, come into hell.
Yeah.
And everything. Oh, the devil's such Lucifer. You're so kind. He offered me. He asked me to come inside.
The salutations and greetings made me want to go.
Nah, man. That don't fly well for me. I look at it stuff is some of us need to understand our limitations on being nice. And I think if they're your loved ones and you're being nice or quote unquote kind to them, would you do the same if they were complete strangers? If your answer is no, you're not nice.
Right.
If you're treating them like the same one and the same, whatever, then yes, possibility and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But again, if I give certain family members a no, certain close friends a no, definitely gonna give people on the street a fucking no.
Yeah,
whatever. And if I'm gonna give family members a nice, I might give a stranger and stuff a little a kind time or a little leeway, bly and stuff like that as well too. Like I said, I've taken my personal money and kind of purchased stuff without tax receipts, without video purposes and stuff for randos and stuff like that. And I would love if somebody did that to the loved ones I have, whatever. And if my loved ones would have needed it, I would do the same thing for them if it's within my power and at the present time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, keep it a buck across the board. Like, that's it. That's the same energy I run with. If you say yay to a lot or yay to a few and no to plenty, you ain't nice. And much as a lot of people don't really like fucking with other people like that too much in today's world. So I'm looking like, if you're only nice to like 5 people, that don't make you nice.
That doesn't make you nice. No.
You got to be nice to at least 100. And at least that is 100 and stuff, 50 of them, they're not related to you.
Right.
That's what makes you too nice to me. But we go by the polls.
100%.
100. 101. Add smooth to the mix.
Add me to the mix.
That's crazy. I don't know. Let's battle, man. Let's battle. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is heartbreaking for me. Let me take a deep breath. Wait, hold on. Is there anything you want to talk about before? What's on your mind?
No, I'm good, man.
You good for this week?
Let's jump in.
Are the Neptunes and NERD officially done?
I looked at them as being done for a while now.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
I mean, because I haven't heard anything with them collaborating together. Like, when's the last project that you heard them collaborate on?
NERD. I actually got that album and stuff somewhere in one of my Spotify favorites.
Right.
I could probably tell you and stuff, whatever, but let's say worst case scenario with the NERD, I feel like they collaborate a lot more on that than they would probably do production wise.
Right.
So more so production wise and stuff, whatever. I think it might have been just Pharrell doing some of the Missy stuff recently, right?
Right.
Because I couldn't, and then I think because so many of their previous like great hits and stuff have been sampled by the newer producers.
Yeah.
They have to cite them on the production.
Right.
So that's where the collective Neptunes and stuff will kind of get some of the hits.
Yeah.
But it broke my heart when I saw Pharrell and Chad or stuff are in lawsuits.
Yeah.
For that, like for like the NERD and the Neptunes rights.
Yeah.
For some things I was like, them including Shay. But let's exclude Shay for now.
Right.
Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo were band players.
Yeah.
In their high school band.
Mm-hmm.
How they end up discovering each other and their form of love and music and stuff. And you got great shit from like Super Thug, I think was Mace. Why are you over here looking at me?
Right.
Because they went to take that party, so they were there. Can no one tell me? Because Pharrell and Diddy was in Him to the Greek together. But yeah, like it's been from way back when, from like 96 time,
right,
to an NERD thing. I thought about it, whatever. It's 2017. Okay. 2017. So it's been a hot minute and stuff, whatever, as well for NERD. But
and you always really have to ask, because Chad has always been the quiet, low key one, right? So even if he was involved in any sort of production or any sort of music, he was always comfortable playing a background character, and while Pharrell would be up front with everything else.
Well, like, because in the beginning, yes, because in the beginning, Chad was a family man before Pharrell was. Right. I think Pharrell, is it Rocket? Yeah, I think his first child is Rocket before he had the triplets.
Okay.
So I think when he had his first kid, you probably start to see less of the production value.
Mm.
And then I believe the triplets were born after, what is that? Because I'm Happy. So that's like Despicable Me to 2013.
Right.
Around that time, they were born. So yeah, most of the stuff like production wise start taking a step back. But then 2017, you get I think
Nerd album.
Yeah, the NERD album and stuff, right? So that's the one with the Lemonade, with the Rihanna track.
Right.
The Future track, the 1000, excuse me. So I just, like I said, it breaks my heart and stuff, whatever, where they've come from so far.
Yeah.
To not be able to, like, I don't say reconcile, but have a discussion where it wouldn't involve the courts. That part is one that hurt me and stuff, whatever. So my question too is that, what do you think of people that come together from so far, fight over money when they know money isn't everything? Like, that by yourself.
Yeah.
Money isn't everything. I know this by myself. Money isn't everything. But here, later, okay, let's say put it on me. I'm the villain. I sue you for, I don't know, not your average Joseph, like, I helped build this or some shit like that, whatever. I look at it stuff as like, I would hope we were evolved enough to say, like, yo, boss, this is what it is. And even if it got to a heated conversation, I would hope that we look at what's right and what's fair.
Yeah.
compared to I don't want to say money, but I want to say validation. Can I say validation?
You can say validation.
Yeah, because I look at it stuff as where when people say it's not the money, it's the principle. Like what part is the principle? The principle is that like this person is a good friend of yours, whatever. You were like, sir, at a time. Yes, your worlds grew and you became possibly like this, but now we're in court.
Yeah, and for me, like whenever I see stuff like that, I never really tend to think it's solely about the money. Like I think in certain situations, it may be creative differences. It may be, like someone wanting to take it into this direction and that person not wanting to go in that same direction that they're going in.
So explain this so and break this situation down, because if that be the case, okay, you and I are the Neptunes.
Right.
You're Pharrell Williams, I'm Chad Hugo and stuff like that. We can agree to say, I want to put my name to set beat.
Right.
Let's say Sexy Red, for example, and stuff, whatever, one of the Neptunes beat.
Yeah.
I said, I bring what I want to add, the elements I want to add to the beat. We're clashing and stuff, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? Nah, maybe we just can't agree and stuff to this Neptune thing and stuff anymore. You've made beats on your own,
Right.
like produced by Pharrell Williams and stuff like that.
Right.
Why not just?
And I think that's where the disagreement to me is sort of happening, because it's not like Chad is arguing with anything that Pharrell has did separately. He's just arguing with the licensing of the name, the Neptunes, which collectively is both of them together. So they're gonna have to kind of agree and disagree on certain decisions as far as that brand is concerned, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, if this is a situation where he's producing a track for some artist that Chad doesn't like, then Chad could be like, more power, do it under your brand as opposed to the Neptunes brand.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking from, if I'm Pharrell now, like if I'm just switching to say I'm Pharrell, I've produced like music from my own name.
Right.
So if you're now Chad and you don't want to attach yourself to this as a collaborative thing,
Yeah.
then I'll do it by myself. And if it came to like this aspect and stuff, like maybe this is where we agree to disagree and just walk our separate ways and stuff like that, right?
Right.
I feel like I, as Pharrell, where my face is being seen and heard and stuff like that, I don't think it should be that much of a problem for me to say, you know what? I can stick to doing shit under my name.
Yeah.
And then if any cases stuff, if you still want into the music industry,
Right.
we'll do this thing together under Neptunes. If you want to do it separate, do separate under your shit.
Right. Right.
But if we can't coexist and stuff, whatever, I guess this is where we just part ways with it. And then whatever, like let's say the royalties and mechanical royalties and everything and spins or whatever, it's already set before set disagreement.
Yeah.
Let's just go with what it already rolls with.
I guess the problem lies in, like you're saying, like the newer artists sampling the older stuff where they can't be separated, right? Like
Mhm.
as we've done these tracks collectively as the Neptunes. I'm now going to have to say, yes, I agree to it before you can move on. Like similar situation with Rockefeller, right?
Right.
Like, Dame didn't want to move forward with doing certain things. Jay wanted to move forward in certain things, but Dame kind of tied Jay up, right? Because his name's there, right? It's funny thing. When I was watching the toys that episode, the little miniseries that they had on, I think, Discovery Channel, Toys That Made America.
Okay.
And they were talking about the guys who invented the Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles.
Okay.
And when it went from the comic book to like the licensings of the TV shows, the movies, the toys, and so forth like that. And when they wanted to introduce, when it was starting to get stale, And you know, they were trying to come up with new ideas. You know, the production company was saying, add a female character. And when the original dudes was like, nah, I ain't about that, right? And you know, his partner was like, yo, like, no, we can make so much money, you know, doing things. It's like, nah, buy me out. So they ended up just buying out. I think he got like 60,000. They bought him out for like 60,000.
Oh, it was back then.
That was back then.
Gotcha.
And then after they bought him out,
catapulted.
The shit just catapulted.
But they didn't put a girl in though after the
one movie they had like a female Ninja Turtle and so forth like that. Yeah, so he was like, he wasn't about that. And of course the fans weren't about that. So they scrapped that idea. But of course, just reworking it. And this, you know, after that, the breakup, this shit still became what it was. So now he's looking at the sidelines like, shit, I only got 60,000 out of this, something that I helped create, right? And the rift originally really wasn't about the money, you know what I mean? Because he's like, yeah, we've made money off of this. It was the principle. It was the principle, yeah, the validation. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want, you know, the floor is what we stood by. Like, this is how it is, right? So they couldn't come to any sort of agreement. So dude was just like, nah. And he was older, had the family and everything, so he was ready to just, you know, get out of it anyway. So he said, yeah.
I wouldn't mind, like, I would look at it stuff as he shouldn't, and I can't tell nobody how to feel.
Right.
But he shouldn't bear no ill will to it, because again, if we're standing on principle, don't worry about like you only got 60K.
Yeah, right.
Out of it, whatever, right? If you're pleading the case stuff that you got 60K and stuff out of it, whatever, you chose integrity over the money. Why are you complaining that you didn't get enough money after everything, like you left because of integrity purpose? Now the shit flipped like karate and stuff. It wasn't for what you stand for. You'd be like, I only got 60K out of it. Man, stand on the money or shut the fuck up.
Yeah, yeah.
So, as you were, sorry.
But you know, that was a situation where there was no legal battles. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Dude just said, you know,
pay me out, buy me out.
Just pay me out and do whatever you need to do. Like, I don't want to hold you back situation, right? And you kind of wish like that was the situation that was here. But
yeah, like moving forward, like, yeah, this doesn't put a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, because you know how Chad is almost making it seem like it's like Pharrell just just ignored whatever wishes that he may have or how he may have looked at things and just went straight forward. And he's like, it almost looks like, well, this is the only recourse that I have now is to sue.
Yeah, and that's the part that just it hurt my soul, because I'm looking at stuff, I was like, the fact that we've come oh so far, we've built something from, like, let's say out of the love.
Yeah.
We built something that was lucrative. We are here now. And okay, you're okay being a front man and stuff of this and stuff, whatever. Cool. Now I'm looking at stuff like, I don't know if I want Sexy Red to sample my, and I'm sorry, Sexy Red. You know, make that coochie breathe. I'm not, you know, it ain't that. But I'm just saying, like, some people just might not be for certain people's type of genre of music. And it's an offer up, whatever. Because, like, if you heard whatever beats you made and stuff, whatever, say you made a beat and stuff called, I don't know, like Strength and Blackness, and you know, it just brimmed a black power, and then some clan member said they want to buy the beat and like they want to hang these niggas, but they want to pay you $1 million for it and stuff like that. You got to stand on money and integrity.
Right.
You'd be like, no. Now, you know, if you held the beat, you might not make a single dime or coin off of it, whatever. But if you know you sold it, you just got to be like, damn.
And that's when
I sold to Jim Crow Jr.
That's one of those things, right? I think to this very day, you can't sample anything that Tracy Chapman's on. She's like, nah, I don't want none of my stuff sampled, right? Ooh. So, you know, you're going to have people who are going to be just like, this is how the art is, and I want to preserve the art as it is. And I don't want anybody to remix it. I don't want anybody to do anything with it, which is fine. It's totally fine. It's like, it's their creation, right? But at the same time, you know, if it's a situation where it's, you know, there's partners involved, then it's got you at some point, you either got to respect the partner's wishes or come to some sort of agreement. Like, you're right. Like, we shouldn't see these guys end up in the court. And we know Pharrell doing solo stuff, But as soon as we hear the name Neptunes, we think of Pharrell and Chad. We don't think of Pharrell just by himself.
Correct. Let me ask you this now. Let's say, a little bit going back to what you were saying just a while ago. Do you feel that, let's say, that people like Tracy Chapman, who chooses not to allow people to sample their things, do you feel like it's more on the art? Because you're in production.
Right.
So I look at it as like preserving the art.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to say, so many words, not passing the power. Because, yeah, like, let's say, I always forget who does that the original Mariah Carey thing. Like, the fantasy.
You're right.
The girls are like,
yeah.
Like them. I look at it stuff as like, if you had people, if they were like Tracy Chapman and stuff, you would never get Mariah Carey fantasy.
You wouldn't get the
like
fantasy.
A banger of a hit. And then you have a lotto decades later and stuff, whatever, with this, with Big Energy.
Yeah.
And then you even got a remix with Mariah and Lotto and stuff like that.
Right.
And so I look at it as to those women who hopefully they own the publishing to it or the company that owned it and stuff. If they were to say, we're not letting everybody stand or mess with our stuff, whatever, we might not even recreate greatness, so people might not even know who the hell you might be.
Yeah, yeah.
Tracy Chapman is still like, because I want to say she's pioneer to a generation.
Right.
But I think there might come to a time where people like her, you won't even know they exist. Unless if you know, you know. Like, I look at it stuff as where, for me, when I was growing up, I was born in the mid 80s, grew up in the late 80s, early 90s. I can't tell you a Paul Anka song.
Yeah.
Until later.
I can't tell you.
When if you know, you put your head on my shoulder. That's Paul Anka.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And they call it puppy love.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These things have been sampled for so long, so many times, that now you can actually go back and stuff. And so, like, you say you look at a Doja Cat with the street song, with the put your head on my shoulder, then you see, like, who the hell's a P Anka or a Paul Anka?
Which is so funny because that just goes to show you the power of certain artists to say, because a lot of times it's not up to the artist to decide who samples their stuff or not. It's up to the record label.
Correct.
So for you to wield that so much power to say, nah, ain't nobody sampling my shit. You were either deep involved in the contracts of your record label where you can hold out on certain things, or they just respect you to a certain degree where they're just gonna adhere by your wishes. But with the Tracy Chapman, I mean, there's so many ways Fast Car could be flipped that would probably sound really dope.
Could you flip it?
Oh, I flip the hell out of it. Yeah, but I don't want to be sued, right?
Not legally. Just for home purposes only.
And then you think of that, and you think of how iconic that song is.
Of course.
And how many people have probably just, please, Tracy, please let me even do it over. I haven't heard anybody even do it over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just what, like you're saying, it could be a rebirth for her. It being sampled by somebody else, or it's being while it's just not making as much money because it's not being played as much now, it could just be a whole rebirth of it and a re-energizing of her music. And just like you're saying, people who never knew of her in this day and age can now go and rediscover what else she has done.
Yeah, because I think for me, Paul Anka kind of came to my radar. I think when Mike passed. So Michael Jackson died. I believe Paul Anka played a part into like some of the production level stuff.
Right.
Of the This Is It. So it was like an album tour thing, whatever, because that was supposed to be Michael Jackson's final hurrah, right?
Right.
And like, that This Is It track was fire.
Yeah.
Right? And I was looking like, and produced by Paul Anka. Who? I'm like, why you guys big up his name? Like they're like, oh, you don't know Paul Anka? I was like, no, that's why I'm asking, who the hell's the damn Paul Anka? And then when they told me like, the put your head on my shoulder, I was like, for real? And then I think somebody showed me like the video or something, whatever. The man was like a teenager when he did that song.
Yeah.
And they call it puppy love. I was like,
it's funny, even at the Battle of the Beatmakers, when we heard DJ Quality flip to Tom Jones.
Oh my gosh.
And we're saying, yo, us as people who know Tom Jones, yo, that shit is dope. But we know there's producers in that competition that we're like, oh shit, that's dope, and not even know who Tom Jones is.
Yes. Because like even like the ones that know, like if you know, you know.
If you know,
you're
know.
Here looking like. Because I remember Tone Mason with Melly.
Right.
Like I remember his face and stuff. When I heard it and stuff, whatever, I was looking at his face at the
screening.
At the screening for the Battle Beatmakers and stuff, whatever. He's like, I'm looking at stuff, I'm like, is that Tom Jones I'm hearing? I was like, no. And then I see his mouth like, I'm like, okay, so I'm not on drugs. And then it just had this overwhelming, like, orchestra plus heavy 808s. And, it was phenomenal.
Right.
And I was going like, so everybody's like, what voice is this? And everybody's like, Tom Jones. Who's Tom Jones? Now look it up. People just like, Carlton Jazz. They're like, oh shit, that's the guy?
Right.
What's New Pussycat? That's the guy? She's a Lady? That's the guy?
Re-energized.
Pass the power.
Yeah.
Like again, it's still unfortunate. It's still unfortunate stuff like that.
I hope they can settle it without it being too much of a drama and stuff like that. But I mean, it's not the first time they've been in any drama, because with the whole Khalees shit, and Khalees was saying how she didn't get her just desserts from whatever contribution she had done with the sound.
I think when the Khalees thing popped off, I do agree with Khalees than I did more with Pharrell and stuff at the time. And I'm a Pharrell fan. I would like in any court, I would stand with Pharrell over Khalees, but Khalees had such a unique sound for at the time. Yes, they probably wrote the song. Yes, they put the production and stuff to it, whatever. But you can't discredit that it came from this person's voice box, and it made it, I want to say, refreshing to some people's ears. Right? Like I want to say, like, is it called out? Yeah. I hate you so much right now.
Yeah.
That song, it wasn't my shit, but I knew it was different. And I knew some women and stuff was like, so it was for them.
Right.
Or it's for people who just felt like overly, like, this is it. And Khalees's voice is what made it. Like, I look at stuff as, okay, Pharrell, like the Neptunes did, I stand by it again, Britney Spears had black people calling themselves slaves again and stuff, whatever. And I'm a slave for you. It was written for Janet Jackson. Do you think Janet Jackson's voice and style and stuff will have the same kind of resonation how Britney Spears had her resonation and stuff on there? Right? Britney Spears and stuff, whatever. Like some people might claim Britney can't sing or Britney can't this or Britney can't that, whatever. But Britney saying, I'm a slave for you just like that, it made it catchy as hell to a lot of people.
Right.
So you have to give Britney the just credit and stuff for the song, because you minus the vocals and stuff, whatever, would the instrumental still sell like that? Right. We know that now, let's say, like even with the Caught Out, I played a track for you. The Brent Fayez track. Yeah. The one with like, all the pretty girls want to be gay. That is from sample from Caught Out.
Right.
So you're looking at, okay, you remove Khalees, but remember, you have a new producer putting a spin on it. So I'm like, the spin, did he bring it alive? Because now you have to separate Khalees and the new spin.
What they did. Yeah.
And just play the instrumental and stuff for it, or have somebody else sing it. I don't think it'll hit the same. I think you should pay Khalees for her just desserts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, man. Let me get to my Marvoshima thing, or my
Marvosaki.
Yes, warning. Following statements.
Following statements
might be nuclear to some.
Viewer and listener discussion advised.
Yo, Jesus came back for Trans Visibility Day, though. Like talk about, like, come on, man. Oh, okay. So you just want to let me be the nuclear bomb on this bitch when you felt the type of way on Easter?
I felt the type of way on Easter. But here's the thing, though.
Talk about it.
Because when I went back and I really thought about it and listened about it, because I thought it was a day that they just started. Apparently, they've been doing that trans visibility. It wasn't named what Biden named it, but they were recognizing on that specific day. The funny thing about it is that the day of Easter floats.
It does. I'll go finish.
Yeah, it's never on a specific date.
Correct.
So it just so happened to land on the day of the trans visibility this year.
Fair.
Right? So at the same time, though, I mean, you gotta Jesus Trump what he needs to Trump.
Jesus ain't trumping the trans.
Apparently not, bro.
So that was my thing. So my thing and stuff is that when everything came out, because they do White House Easter egg hunts, right?
Right.
This is the one time I think he fell one year when I think a little bit after he got in, I think Kamala was there or something like that, and I think he fell. Biden fell during the Easter hunt.
Easter hunt?
Right? And I looked at it stuff as where you're still, the purpose of having the media put microphones in your face is still for the presidential Easter hunt or the Easter hunt at, like, you know, in Washington.
Right.
Easter should be your main focus.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't acknowledge the trans visibility, but Easter is the reason why you have the media in your face.
Right.
It's not for trans visibility, because if the day is constant, Easter is constantly moving. You constantly have to do this presidential Easter hunt thing on Easter regardless. Let that be your primary focus and stuff for it, right?
Yeah.
When Biden did that now, well, I feel like the two political party system and stuff will always create a divide or whatever, but I feel like that right there was a way the Democrats would shoot themselves in the foot. Because the Republicans' main case and stuff were like, if we're looking at, like, let's say Trump to Huckabee Sanders and stuff like that, you know, Sarah Huckabee Sanders and stuff, when she said her piece about women are women here in Arkansas.
Right.
Don't come here with that trans woman stuff, whatever.
Right.
It's still the Republican Party. Trump said his piece and stuff about we're gonna let women play in women's sports. Right now, we're not allowing men to play women's sports and stuff. Whatever. That's Republican Party, still anti-trans.
Right.
You're doing something as a Democratic leader for the trans people. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But now, America, which is, for now, the world's constantly changing. One nation under God.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised if it's one nation under Krishna.
that would be surprising.
Yeah, like, you know, like, I look at it stuff as where we're losing the essence of, I love when church people say it. I don't know if it has any weight that I say it. Maybe if I say it with a straight face. Jesus is the reason for the season.
Yeah, no, I think we're losing that essence. I mean, there's if we even look back at, like, Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
even the day of his birth, we slowly losing his representation there. You know what I mean? It's more of the commercialism. It's more of the jolly. I mean, we know more about Santa on Christmas Day than we do about Jesus.
Man, and when I keep telling you, Jesus need a new marketing team, no one's listening. They're like, oh, this guy Marv just making noise, whatever. Santa, you know Santa's wife, you know his elves, you know the reindeer, you know all of this and stuff, whatever. Some people know the three wise men. They can tell you the three wise men's names. They can tell you about the manger. They're not accurate on which day Jesus was born because it's not really December 25th.
Right.
But we know Santa's in that sleigh Christmas Eve, going all around the world, and one night, and got clear fly space.
You got letters going to Santa. You ain't got no letters going to Jesus.
No.
You got Skywatch.
Yeah.
Watching Santa's sleigh, telling you where Santa is.
I think it's the funniest was when I used to watch, like, when I watched the weather around that time, and they're like, oh, and skies are clear for Santa to do his route tomorrow. You know he's not real, right? Like, it's like
Skywatch. Santa spotted just leaving the North Pole. What do you mean he spotted just leaving the North Pole?
I was like, yo, miss me with that. But again, okay, who has a better marketing team? The Christian community, the trans community? Because think about it. If I'm removing Jesus, I'm putting like the Christianity faith and stuff in itself.
Right.
Right? I want to say baptisms. I want to put communion in, even though it's Catholic.
Right.
Those things happen more on a, I don't want to say a frequent level, but I want to say at a higher volume at a time.
Yeah.
Because let's say, for example, when you baptize, like, it's rare that I've seen that a church is saying, like, you know what? This Sunday, we're only going to baptize not your average Joseph. Come this Sunday. No, they're going to baptize you with a few amount of people that want to get baptized and stuff, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like in this big dip, there might be like 5 or 6 individuals and stuff that might go for this dip and everything, right?
Right.
And I'm not saying daily how many people might be decided to transition or the surgeries that might be going on in the process. But I look at it stuff as where for most of the year, we have a lot more, I think we're more trans sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And I say it like that because I want to say even for like speech, because certain speeches and stuff or certain things to them, like we're talking about when you have arguments about the washroom, it becomes a conflict.
Right.
So now you don't want to upset them or, you know, not push back and stuff. This happens so frequent within the year.
Right.
Let's say you're giving Jesus and stuff for Christmas and Easter. We can't take a break for at least 2 points in a year.
You would hope that you can take points, you know, just
or even like make it fair. Like if we're saying like this year we're only gonna worry about solving the hunger crisis and stuff in the year, and you're like, all right, cool. Then now you're saying next year you're gonna support blindness,
right?
So you're gonna fixate all the money and stuff in the world from like world hunger to end world hunger next year, to end world blindness next year, to like common cancers and everything. Then you're taking off now, let's say 2 points in that year, be like, all right, you know what? We did a lot with this hunger thing. We think we should let these motherfuckers starve for like 2 points of the year and stuff. We'll just call them Christmas Day and Easter Day to let them starve and everything.
But
it's gonna be uproar.
But the reason why you're getting those holidays is because of Jesus. You get majority of us get the Good Friday off. Some of us get the Easter Monday off.
Woo-hoo. Yeah,
it's not because of the trans community.
Transvisibility, it's not.
It's not. So to not celebrate the reason why you're getting these times off.
Yeah,
that's wild to me.
A lot of people gonna be pissed off when they hear this. Yeah,
I mean, but and we're
not being honest.
Yeah,
it's not hate speech.
Yeah, we're not saying that we can't celebrate.
No, like I said, the day it happens on, regardless. Yes. But I look at the stuff as where you have the divide within the two, let's say, worlds or communities,
right?
Because you have, I say, quote unquote, Christian folk would say, you know, again, that community and stuff is wrong.
Yeah.
And then like the other community, the trans community, will look at the Christian folk and say that they don't make it welcoming for people like them in these type of spaces. But I look at stuff as
I just don't know what it's, because it's an easy spin, Marv. Jesus loves everybody. And Jesus loves, and guess what? While we're here, let's say a shout out to the trans community and so forth like that. Jesus loves you too.
Jesus was a savage, though, according to the Bible. No?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm telling you, that whole journey to Galilee thing. Jesus, I want to come, but my dad almost dead and stuff, whatever. Let the dead bury themselves. What, Jesus? Like my pops. He's the reason why I'm here. Like, no, like he might have just, like a savage. But Jesus loves all.
Right.
I don't understand. Like I said, to end it, I don't want to say any more on it, but I don't understand where, just like what you were saying, the reason for the holiday, and then even if you don't participate or partake in the holiday, you still reap the benefits from the holiday.
Benefits from the holiday.
I look at this stuff as just like Juneteenth. I feel like, my personal opinion, I feel if you fail on the knee graph, you should be working.
Right.
But they shut the day down because, again, it's close enough to it.
Yeah.
So now you're reaping the benefits and stuff, whatever. Now, I feel like any KKK rally that takes place on that day, you shouldn't be met with like no rubber bullets. It should be real bullets.
Right.
Because you're looking like, we've given you the off day because of the coons.
You should be arguing to work that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You as a KK person say, no, let me work that day. You should be like the Chinese that still work on the religious holidays that we have reserved for ourselves. It's not part of what we're doing, so we're gonna work that day. KKK, you should behave the same way on Juneteenth.
Yes. Thank you. We sound kind of rageful. I hope we don't sound kind of rageful. Let me say this. These are just conversations that people should be having on a podcast.
Yes.
But I feel like a lot of people and stuff would try to have a deep take on it. And
don't deep take at work. Don't deep take at work.
Pause. I don't like how you pause. No. Don't deep take nothing unless you give consent to it. Let's say that.
Let's say that.
But I feel like, yeah, it's weird where, let's say, and I'll use like, if Ricky Gervais, Chappelle, or a comedian was to say the same exact thing on a stage, lightly, taken lightly. Anybody that say it on a podcast, problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
It is
the same thing being said.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this, and again, it's the same way how I want to say a good portion of times where I hear Chappelle would say it, I don't hear the hate speech in it. And the same way we're talking about it, I don't hear it. And I'm not trying to be biased. But I'm looking at stuff as not hate speech. I guess it goes back to like when we still work when Eid Mubarak is going on for the Muslim community.
Right.
When Christmas holiday and stuff comes around, shit shut down, they're off.
Yeah.
And that's not the religion they partake in.
Right.
Jesus is the reason for the season. All right. Ooh, I can't wait to talk to you about this. Are you ready now?
I'm ready.
We had a slight discussion. Previously on the Podical Sons. On the Podical Sons. Now, I had this conversation with Smooth off air, and I want to know where you still stand, if you still stand with this the same way. Is a harmless man a good man?
Yes. Harmless man is a good man.
Why do you think that?
Because he's causing no harm to nobody.
He's causing no harm
to nobody.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that he is capable of causing harm?
He's capable, yes. The fact that he doesn't do it makes him a good man.
I think the harmless man is not a good man because I think the harmless man chooses to avoid to look about the harm they can possibly cause. I'm not saying he can't acknowledge it, but I look at stuff as where, especially in this world we live in, I can go somewhere. No, we'll use you in reference. You can go somewhere.
Right.
see another grown ass man,
Mhm.
in your mind and stuff, you're like, aren't you sizing him up if you can take him or not? If shit was to pop off, I'm not saying it did pop off, but if something was to pop off and stuff, like, you look at yourself like, can I take him barehanded? Do I need some objects and stuff for it to help subdue him and everything like that?
Right.
Do
Weighing
you
my
s-
odds.
Hmm?
Weighing my odds.
Weighing your odds. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That sounds very lawyer-like, like a motherfucker, boy. All right, here, Suits.
I'll weigh my odds.
You're weighing your odds.
Yeah.
So now you're in the situation and stuff where you didn't act on anything because he didn't do anything
Right.
to act out of character.
Right.
But I feel like if you thinking about the things you can do, you're not harmless.
I mean, if I don't act on it, I'm still harmless.
If you don't act on it, you're still harmless?
Yeah.
I can see that. But if provoked, would you act? Or if you're provoked, would the harmless man act?
If provoked, I think the harmless man act. But I think
You think so?
I think the harmless man should act.
I think most harmless men don't act if provoked. I think harmless men are more passive because I feel like if that be the case, we have a lot of harmless men out here
Right.
that are, let's say, okay, we did mental health, little speaking, little expo and everything.
Yeah.
Do you feel like those men are harmful or harmless? The men that were there. We're not picking particular individuals, but these faces and stuff like that. And I feel like they're harmless men, but they can't seem to, let's say, quote unquote, get right. Because they don't know how to act.
Right. I don't know if I would look at them as harmless. I think some of them in a room, maybe if pushed, they can cause some harm.
Mm-hmm. The majority or the minority?
I would say the majority. I would say maybe
the majority?
No, I would say the majority.
Oh, you say minority?
Yeah, I'd say the minority.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I just look at it as if you're a good man, right? Being able to commit harm justly, I'll give you. Unjustly, knowing that you can commit harm but not doing it, that would make you a good man.
Okay.
There's a saying, no harm, no foul.
That's fair. Because I'm thinking, whenever I hear that, I always think of Minority Report. If you didn't commit the crime, it's not a crime.
Right.
Right? But I still feel like if you still had the thought process of it, whatever, you're still.
Yeah, now they want to try to they want to try to arrest you for that.
Well,
premeditated.
Yeah. And Minority Report. But I look at it stuff as where, again, we live in a world with, I want to say, you have pedophiles.
Right.
And then you have, let's say, individuals that have these urges to be with kids.
Right.
Right? Now, the pedophiles are like the main pedophile ones acted upon theirs and stuff, whatever, which they are problematic. But I still feel like the person lurking and not acting on it, but just still lurking, is not a good person. Like they're like, oh, I didn't touch any kid, so I didn't do any harm.
Right.
But you still had them intentions though. And I don't know when they might react or if they do and stuff, whatever. But I'm like, it's still a problem to me.
Yeah. Having the intentions, but then suppressing it, I think you would have to, there would have to be some form of good in you to say no. Even though I'm thinking about it, I know it's not right.
Okay. I see where you're coming from with that.
I know it's not right. And I even though I want to act on it, the goodness that's instilled on me is going to prevent that from happening.
Okay. Currently in your world, are you on hero mode or are you on villain mode?
I think more hero mode.
Why?
Because I would like to help and see progression.
Are you sharing what you can as far as you can to the world? let's say like your community to your world. Because remember, heroes now, they have to play these parts. Like it's so crazy. Like before you start,
Yeah.
there's this anime I watch called My Hero Academia. And in this anime and stuff, they raise these kids to be heroes.
Right.
We're talking about they take them like, oh, you have these quirks or these superpowers? Great. We're going to put you in this school, condition you what it be like where you have to save some people. We have to talk to people, media ready them and everything and stuff to get them for hero stuff. And then some of the kids drop out because they're like, this is not really for them.
Right. Yeah.
Is that type of thing like what you're doing? Like you're helping out within your world, you're spreading the information, not saying you're doing media coverage, but let's say the podcast would be your media aspect and stuff. Do you still on hero mode?
Yeah, definitely. With those close to me, and I want to see.
You got to minus them too because that's not the only people you're supposed to say.
No. I'm saying when I say definitely those close to me, who I have maybe an interested in. But even those in like the social media world who I don't see, like if I see information that's not correct and I know better, I'll chime in.
I seen you going on villain mode sometimes with some posts.
Oh yeah. But a lot of times when I'm going in on villain mode, though, it's no, you may be incorrect on something, and then I might have to forcefully correct you. Either way.
All right, Thanos.
Either way, you're gonna know what's on my mind, and at the same time, I may put an argument out there, and I may be corrected, and I'm willing to accept the correction, right? So it's not always me feeling that I'm right, but sometimes I feel like, no, maybe you have not thought of this, or maybe this has not been expressed to you. So let me put that out there, believing that I'm doing a good thing. But I could not be doing a good thing. And like I said, I'm not above correction. So there's a lot of times where I've been in battles online and I've been corrected. And I've said, yo, I didn't know that. Thank you for enlightening me. You know what I mean? I accept that correction.
That's the hero within you. That's the good within you.
Yeah.
I think the people and stuff that would just completely ignore it, that's the villain within them.
Yeah.
Right? But then yet everybody wants to be a hero.
Right.
But you're playing the villain in the overall story.
Right.
Right? Because it's kind of like if you're willing to accept the correction, it's like you learned this lesson, you know better, so you're going to do better.
Right, exactly.
How many there's people and stuff that they'll know better and they still won't do better, but yet they will jump up and say they're the hero in the story or they're on hero mode. Be like, how? Sway? How?
Yeah.
So I was looking like, but
like this one post, there's one post, and it's so funny because it was something that academics says, and y'all know not to take you should know not to take academics for no god. He was trying to say how he believes that Biggie Smalls was bisexual from the line that we always argue about.
Money and drugs don't mix like two dicks.
No. You look so good.
I'll suck on your daddy's.
Right. And I said, yeah, we've always said that line's questionable, but for those who know, that line's coming from a Richard Pryor skit that he did, right? And I'm saying, so yeah, it's questionable, but I'm not taking it that this man's bisexual. I'm saying, no, this man is using what Richard Pryor said, and then he's making light of it in his verse. Version. However you may take it is how you may take it. Correct. But I'm not looking at it as he's now a bisexual. I'm saying this is where the reference is coming from.
Right.
No, the man's still sus. That's how I go. But I just told you. I said, after I made my comment, I said, this same person also said, money don't mix like two dicks. I don't hear nobody screaming this man's homophobic. But y'all are quick to say this man is sus.
Yeah. Got me stymied.
After I said that, he didn't reply after that.
Villain. Surface. So we may execute you in front of the public to make an example out of you for not your average entertainer. Carl Jung, Carl Jung once said, if a tree can grow to heaven, the roots have to be deep-seated in hell. Do you agree to that?
Yeah. Because here's another thing. In order for us to have the concept of good, there has to be bad.
You have to know the bad.
Yeah.
And this is the thing and stuff where I always feel like I have a problem or with a clash with certain people. Like, for one, let's say, for example, if we're looking like religious aspect,
Right.
you can't believe in God without knowing the devil.
No.
And you should know, like, I guess, like, at least the ins and outworks of, like, what the worst the devil could possibly do. You know, like how some people are like, oh, broke me down, made me homeless, paid me this, that, and the third and stuff, whatever. Easy way for me to sell my soul to the devil so you know how the lowest it can go.
Right.
So when you choose not to do it, like you're saying earlier, you know, the greater you can become when you work hard and you strive hard to get out of like set situation.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people just feel like they can be this instant ultimate saint without giving a damn of they can be a man or a person that can cause harm.
Yeah, nah, I don't. In order for you to know yourself or speak about yourself in such high regards, you have to know your low point.
The worst you can do.
Yeah.
Should you see the evil within? Remember, I always we have associated sons, make peace with your inner beast, but don't feed it.
Right.
And I want to say this is before the Carl Jung concept kind of came to us and stuff like that, right?
Right.
But I look at it stuff as where I'm for seeking the love, the evil within.
Mm-hmm.
And again, putting the restraints on it, putting the barriers on it, just saying like, no, like, you know, somebody does something ill will to a relative that I know, and I would want to, like, I guess, take retribution for it.
Right.
It can go down.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, you know, I will fuck you to fuck up for some shit.
Right.
But look at stuff as like, the powers that be deal with you. That's why you see these cases where I think like the family and them kind of would lose like the composure and jump over the courtroom to go fuck up like the I want to say the defendant or the persecutor and stuff who you know who probably didn't cause harm to a loved one or killed a loved one and everything. Their evil within has just kind of became unleashed, unhinged.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the worst you can do and stuff like that, but you didn't need to.
Right.
And I always look at the stuff as where if you believe in something, religious aspect, know that the person will get their day.
Yeah.
I know the Hindu sect will definitely tell you about karma. What goes around comes around, right? But I look at it stuff as Christianity thing. It's kind of like, the vengeance is I to the Lord.
Mm.
And then you have another part that would say an eye for an eye,
tooth for a tooth. Yeah, and I think, and then I mean, in each situation, there's something unique about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I was to find out that someone brutally raped and killed my loved one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can be able to suppress the evil within, right? And at that point, I may be looking more to the eye for an eye, tooth for tooth verse than anything else, than to let God have his justice.
But you think your justice is better than God's?
I don't think my justice is better than God's.
Okay.
But you know, that may be the one time where I'll probably be honest and say the devil has gotten me.
That's fair,
right?
That's honest.
Yeah.
That's honest.
Yeah, it might just be that one time where I say, I know better, but
Lucifer take the wheel.
He's got me on this one, right?
Mm.
And there's been situations where, I've been like in wronged in a fight and so forth like that, and and people will like be like, let's go act this revenge. I'll ride with you. And I'll be like, nah, you know what? I let it slide, only to find out, years later, fate has caught up to that person.
Yes, sir. I've seen that happen twice in my story.
You've seen that happen twice in your story as well.
Mm-hmm. Like I kind of just like bit the bullet, like grit my teeth and stuff, whatever. And it's like, and part of me felt like I'm being a bitch.
Yeah.
To let it go, but there's something in the back of my head, call it God, telling me like, yo, like, trust.
Right.
Set person's gonna get their time.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta do it. And when it comes to stuff, whatever, it's gonna be the worst way possible and stuff like that, whatever, right? And when it came up to like that person, like the second time when that happened to me, I didn't really feel that much like a bitch, but I just look at stuff as like from the first time from the reference, be like, you know what? Let go and let God deal with it.
Yeah.
But with that person, like I legit, I don't think I saw them since like a set incident that them and I had with another individual involved. That person got low.
Okay.
Because other people looking for them.
Right.
When their situation happened to them, and I was looking like, damn. Well, I was gonna go that far.
Yeah.
But then again, I guess karma caught up to them and stuff like that. And like, yo, if God made them a paraplegic and stuff from the set situation, who am I?
And the wrong against you might have been one of many wrongs.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
It was definitely, because it was like, I think when I mentioned it to another person and stuff, whatever, they were the one that's like, you're not the only one.
Right.
Because it happened to such and such.
Right.
And somebody else said that this person is known for, you know, the wrong that they do and stuff like that. Whatever, right? So I'm like, it's all right. But the person and stuff, no. As bad as it may be, this person is quote unquote a religious person now. Because of all the bad that they've done and the karma that happened to them.
And that's the next thing, right? Because it's funny because I always say, when I see these kids out in the street killing one another, I say to myself, you know, one's dead and one is gone to jail to go serve like a life. I'm like, y'all even got the chance to grow up and realize what you're doing wasn't right and make repentance for it. You know what I mean? And change your ways. It's like, at least if you have gotten a chance to, you know, see a little bit more life, and you may be able to understand certain things and, you know, seek forgiveness. I had to watch this one case where the dude, I think he killed another dude. And the family, the family, like, instead of, you know, enacting vengeance, letting that inside rage come out, they said, no, we're gonna choose to forgive you. And like to this very day, it's like when he was in jail, they would write him letters to see how he's doing, you know, and so forth like that. And
forgiveness is a superpower I don't have.
It's a superpower that I don't have, but it changed his life.
You would hope.
No, but we wouldn't do it.
No. I'm saying
you would hope
average case.
You would hope
in
that would
average
happen
case, yeah.
in all these times. But in that particular moment, it gave him a second life where someone could have easily took his first life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you don't hear stories like that. You don't hear often, right? But it's stories like that happen, and it can only happen if you're not seeking vengeance and if you're willing to forgive.
True. That's fair. I feel like I just said it, but I was laughing and stuff, whatever too. But I'm like, that might be a new line when you want to choose violence. If you're choosing peace, be like, Jesus, take the wheel. If you're choosing violence, be like, Jesus, get in the back. you know who's in the
Jesus,
front. You know who's driving.
Jesus, you riding on this one.
No, because you're looking like, if you're in passenger side, you're like, Jesus, take the wheel.
Right.
Right? And you're looking like, nah, Jesus, you got to get in the back on this one and stuff. Be like, so who's driving? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Lucifer. Diddy. Oh, sorry. You guys call me this. I'm over Diddy's news, man. I'm over Diddy's news now.
I'm over it too, but it just it just seems like every other day they got like a new case to throw at him, and I'm tired now. just let these main cases take their course, and be done with it.
I think the one thing I hope one of the last few things I say about this Diddy situation, I guess before trial and if trial goes to start and everything,
right?
Because I want to say, if you're okay with going to all the celebs and whosoever stuff that did the raids for to take these tapes,
yeah, then
you went to the take that mansions and stuff like that. If it was consensual and you were okay after whatever took place, after the party,
right?
Do your thing.
Listen,
if it wasn't, then this is where
you
yeah, this is where I draw the line. Because I look at it stuff as where I'm just looking at so many type of like, especially like black celebrities now. I'm like, did he go to the mansion?
And a lot of it is
questionable,
mansion? Right? Because it's a big Hollywood or whatever secret. But we know from time that there is such a thing as a casting couch. And we know from time there were women and men who were willing to take a seat on that couch.
To suck cock to get to the top.
That's all I'm saying. So
Lil Kim was synonymous with Diddy back then. I don't know. Do you have an alter ego? Let's say you put the good within Smooth.
Yeah.
Where does the bad go? Where does the bad have a container? Does it have a name for the container, or is it still Smooth 2.0?
No, it's Smooth in the private circles.
What does that mean?
It's, I'm smooth, but if you dare let it get out of this circle, the villain is coming for you.
Okay, smooth as what it come out the circles.
Yeah. I'm in certain places. I don't have like I'm on IG. I don't got like a burner account to do villain shit. If I feel like to just let the villain loose, I'm just gonna be the villain with my own personal space,
which is dope. Because I frown upon people with those burner accounts.
Yeah.
Well, because I look at this stuff as where you need a whole house to hold your evil. You need a whole house to hold your evil.
Yeah.
One house is not good enough for you to do what you need to do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Here, you have a phone. Now I need two phones. One for the regular life and one for crime.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not doing bad on it. Sure. Sure, buddy. We bet. I feel like I do not have an alter ego. I'm kind of the same, one and the same, because it's kind of like, I think it's more Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, same address.
Right.
But no for a fact that both sides and stuff exist on any given time and stuff, whatever. So approach with caution. Approach correctly. Let me say it. I didn't approach with caution. Approach correctly.
Yeah.
Because IG check, like, and they'll tell you, IG check from like nurses to everybody and stuff, whatever. Like, I don't give a damn. I was in conversation with somebody and stuff, whatever, and somebody came interrupted and stuff like that, and I kept talking. They were trying to talk to me and stuff, whatever. So I even did one of these, and then I was like, blah blah blah, amen. Hello, how are you today? Let's start with that.
Yeah.
So they look like, and then I heard some person was like mumbling to some other people that I know.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that guy's an asshole. They're like, no, Marvin, he's smooth as ice, twice as nice.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you didn't approach correctly. Had you approached correctly and stuff, whatever, you would have got Dr. Jekyll.
You did total different outcome.
But because you came incorrectly,
yeah,
you got Mr. Hyde, and now you're upset and stuff that you got Mr. Hyde.
Right.
No more alter egos. We are one over here. Wholeness.
You either gonna let Jesus take the wheel.
Jesus getting the back on this one. We're gonna have to switch drivers real quick, Jesus. He's not gonna drive too long.
You don't drive too far. We just need to navigate this little corner
this
right
little,
here.
yeah.
This little corner right here, we need to navigate.
He knows what to do.
He knows the road.
He knows what to
knows
do
the
right
road.
here. Okay, let me ask you this. Do people not want to see the bad because they have to acknowledge on cleaning it up?
Ooh.
Because I look at it as that where you now know this is what, okay, like for example, let's say my fighting word, I don't know. My fighting word was a non-black person saying nigger.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
A non-black person saying the word nigger. I can easily get upset anytime a non-black person says this word.
Right.
Or I can take the time and stuff and realize and stuff that this word was made to empower us. But throughout the course of the years, the decades, certain black people gave it empowerment.
Right.
And turned into a term of endearment.
Right.
And it's no longer a term to kind of like fully demean. Nevertheless, it was created for the purpose and stuff to demean. Right. I've acknowledged that I have a problem with this word. I probably, let's say I do therapy to try and make sure like this word doesn't trigger me so I don't, unhinge the evil. It took work to do that. Because you have to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And you have to do something about it and stuff for it. Because if you don't, you might constantly be in a loop and stuff where these situations might even get worse and worse. Like I look at the stuff, let's say, for me, I think in 3rd, 4th grade, I actually fought a dude and stuff, whatever. I think he was a Latino kid. And I think he said it. And I'm like, I snapped. I'm like, I don't think you're dark enough for this. We fought.
Right.
Yeah. And then I remember I was in a situation and stuff, I think in college. I know the guy. I'm not gonna say his name and stuff like that because I don't fuck with him like that. But like he even kind of got loose and stuff, and I had to turn and G-check him and stuff, whatever. And then he tried to make it seem like I got a good amount of black friends and stuff, whatever, right? I'm like, I don't
qualify it.
Yeah, he's trying to quantify it. I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck. I am not your black friend. Don't feel comfortable and loose to say that. And again, you can hear the reenactment of the rage.
Yeah. I feel it.
Right?
I feel a volcano.
Yeah. And then it's the evil within.
It's the evil within. Yeah.
But then I come to a point and stuff, again, you bring it to like a George Floyd type of time and scenarios and stuff where if I'm not, and I'll take ownership on myself, if I'm not presenting myself in a calmer-like demeanor, I can understand why, I'm not justifying, but I can understand why certain type of law enforcement authorities will get out of pocket even faster than others.
Right.
Because they know, like even, again, like I said, the George Floyd time, I think we spoke about it where, cop Chauvin held his knee on his neck, killed him. Right. There was, during those riots, there was a situation where a cop held down like one of the rioters, put their knee on the neck, and the one cop pushed them off. Like, what are you doing? That's the reason why we're here.
Right.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Right? And I look at it stuff as like, them might possibly calling me out of pocket that, this is my trigger word.
Yeah.
Might put me in a situation where it might compromise my life. I need to work on the bad. I have acknowledged the bad. Let me try and work on it. I think it's very toxic when you sit with the bad and it starts infecting other things around you.
Here's the funny thing, when you ask that question, I thought of all the people who want to maintain that toxic behavior and use that as an excuse not to correct it.
I'm such a bitch. This is who I am. Fuck out of here. Do better.
Do better.
It kills me. Yo, I had a lady tell me just like that, whatever. Oh, I'm a bitch. This is how it could be.
Deal with it.
No.
Yeah.
Do better.
Right.
That part. That you could tell that tree is not growing to heaven.
Its roots just keep getting deeper.
Okay. Yeah. Let's end on that note. Whatever. I think the last thing I would say pertaining to that would be which do you think of people for striving for more, perfection or wholeness? I said it to you before.
Yeah.
And I just want you to really take it in and stuff, whatever, because with perfection, I guess there's constantly working on shit. And then with wholeness, they're kind of like acknowledge the evil that I have right here. I'm just a bitch. This is who I am. I'm not gonna get any better.
Yeah, I think wholeness. I think
wholeness is the key.
I think, you know, I think people accept who they are. Well, some people accept who they are and
stop doing work
and stop doing work and improving themselves when they should be really acknowledging who they are, and if it's good, improve upon that. If it's bad, become better.
Well said. Well said. Okay. Let's get it popping, man. Let's start the question of the week. Ready?
Ready.
Question of the week. What would you write in your obituary?
Yeah. Strive to be the best that he could be, but happy with the person who turned out to be.
Nice. Do your best. He always done his best and made peace and stuff with and he made peace with the things that he cannot control. That's not within his power. Because I look at it stuff as where I can't control anything that's not within my range and my power and my reach.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people feel like certain things can dictate that.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that there's influence pertaining to like not the world's not what you know, who you know, or certain type of things. But I look at stuff as that's within your power.
Right. Right.
When it gets beyond that point, whatever, let's say, for example, I said to myself, I went to go renew my passport. And I went to go renew my passport. And the woman who served me, she looked like somebody I knew.
Okay.
Right? She's a black lady and she looked like somebody I knew and stuff like that. And I was like, if it was such and such, I'd be like, yo, put this on top of the pile. Fuck everybody else who did a passport thing.
Yeah.
Can I get this shit faster? Can I get this faster for a disco? Yeah. Can you expedite my passport, whatever, for the disco? And just to see what is what. But then I looked at it, I'm like, if it only was possible, if it was that person, they'd be like, Marv, say less. Because I know that they're riders and everything, but it's not.
It's not.
So now what do I do now? Hey, by the way, random black lady, because we're both have melanin in us,
right?
You might expediting this for free. Can I get an express without paying the express? Wink, wink. It's not in your control. Let it go.
I remember driving. I had an African lady with her. She was there with her 2 kids at a bus stop.
Okay.
Like waving, hail me down and so forth like that. And so I stopped, and I was like, "Is everything okay?" Yeah, I was wondering if you could give me a lift somewhere. I'm like,
did you?
I was like, no. Then she tried to be like, but you're my brother. I'm like, no, I'm not your brother. Those probably 2 midgets that you have with you. You probably might try to overtake me and steal my car and kill me and something like that. No. Do
you think you're on hero mode or villain mode that day?
That day I was on protect myself mode. But the funny thing is, so the funny thing is, I say that to say this. About a month back, I was at the post office. I went to go, but this time we weren't getting the mail out of the mailbox. So I still had to go to the post office and pick up some stuff. And I had my daughter with me, right? because I think I was dropping her somewhere, right? And at the post office, there was this African man, and he was there with his little daughter, right? And he was on the phone, and I think he was arranging a ride and so forth like that. But then he looked at me and he asked me, he goes, if it's not too much to ask, could you just drop me by the Walmart?
Okay, yeah.
Right? And I was like, what? No, first he asked for a ride. I go, what? I'm dropping my daughter somewhere. He goes, I'm just going to the Walmart. And then I processed. I said, well, no, the Walmart's just there.
On the way.
I said, yeah, no, you know what? It's on the way. Jump in. I'll give you a ride to the Walmart. And I gave him a ride to the Walmart.
Nice.
Right? So it's like,
hero mode.
yeah, it's in certain situations. I think, sometimes you have to weigh the situation. You gotta weigh the situation.
You're right. That's fair.
And then, but then before I even got to that point, I was thinking when I lived at my mom's house growing up, she had I think it was the Serenity prayer, the prayer Serenity, where
yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, where it's give me the ability to change the things that I can change, and the ability to accept the things that I cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I think her just having that kind of just because it would just be right. You coming down the stairs, it's right on the wall. So you just come down there, you see it, and it's like just seeing that kind of instilled that in me, just to be like, if I can make the change, make the change. But if I can't, accept the fact that I can't, and just like Jesus, take the wheel and leave it in God's hands.
Fair. That's fair. Respect that. Let's get to the Ask the Sons.
The Sons.
First Ask the Sons comes from M-Rock. Why date someone if in the end goal isn't to be with them forever / married? I feel like I want to say placeholders.
I was gonna say you don't know who that person is. You're gonna end up with marrying or spending the rest of your time with. So you kind of have to.
Would you date without a purpose though?
No, I wouldn't date without a purpose.
Yeah, because I feel like
is that what you think? That's what the person meant?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they're dating with it, like if you're not gonna date with a purpose to marry or be with somebody and stuff forever,
right?
Why date? But I look at it stuff as like, again, this placeholder shit, because I look at it stuff as if I'm gonna be with, I take this from women. I seen a lot of women and stuff that like, I see more older women.
Right.
Let's say if they lost a spouse or they've gotten a divorce,
yeah,
they may not remarry.
Okay.
Right. But I look at it stuff as that if they do get companionship and stuff again,
yeah,
they probably acknowledge to the companion and stuff, but at some spatial form, like, look here, man, that marriage shit was a doozy. I ain't fucking with it. So either you be with me and we call it a day, or, vominos and stuff, right? So I feel like certain those conversations does happen. And I feel like there's other cases where the conversations do not happen.
Yeah.
And the person is
the expectation is right. There. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was about to say, if you're into that mode of, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And
say that or express that.
Yeah, express that. You let it know to the other person.
Fair. Next question comes from Danny 0680. What are some really dangerous things that most people don't realize are dangerous? My story and stuff is not sleeping. I couldn't sleep properly the past few nights. Like I want to say during the week. And man, Friday, I couldn't wait to sleep. Like I went to bed early as shit.
Yeah.
Went to bed like for me, 10 o'clock is not norm.
Right.
Like I was snuggled in and stuff for her about like 10. I was like, yo, fuck it. And play catch up with some sleep. And then even like last night, I went out.
Right.
Like my car was in another location. And then for me to get back and stuff, like where we were coming from and stuff, to get to my car and to go home, like on the way going back to my car and stuff, whatever, I was yawning.
Yeah.
I was yawning. I'm rubbing my eyes and stuff. Everybody's like, you straight? I'm like, yeah. You straight? I'm like, yeah. And then, these old, dark, windy roads, boy. I was looking like, I stopped at one light, whatever. I'm there just slapping myself in the cheek. I'm like, oh, no sleep. I'm just dancing and turn up music and everything like that. And I was like, yo, when I came in, it's a wrap.
That was me the Thursday when you had the drama to tell me. It's like the time from the time that I got home from work, I already knew that I was finished, but I was like, shit, I still got to make this move downtown because to do this with whatever it was
business is business.
Yeah, I couldn't pass it up. So I said, you know what? We got downtown. I was like,
you were feeling it?
Yeah, I was feeling it. And she was like, because we met the designer downstairs in the downstairs of her building, and she's like, no, you guys gotta come up, get out of this, at least one glass of wine.
And you went?
And she was like, no, we gotta go. She goes, no, come on, please. So I said, okay, because it's you, and we have love for y'all. I know my wife don't pass up the opportunity to drink some wine, so I said, okay, we'll go up for a little bit. So then we're up there for a little bit, and then then the conversation was so sweet.
Time started flying.
You know what I mean? And she goes, you want anything to drink? I said, no, I'm tired. She goes, coffee? I said, yeah, okay. I'll have a cup of coffee.
Kind of pep you up for your drive.
Yeah. So I stayed. I had the cup of coffee, and then when we were there, it's like, okay, time to be out. So then that's why we're like, as soon as I got through the door and Show went and sat down in the living room, I just looked at her and said, I'm going up. And I head straight up to myself. Yeah, so sleep is a serious thing, man.
Man,
listen, I know people who have
car accidents and everything.
Yeah, who have literally died.
Not died, but like I have 4 friends.
Yeah.
Legit, because they fell asleep and stuff like behind the wheel.
Right.
It's a different kind of beast and stuff for that. And I even I start fretting. That's part of the reason why I start slapping myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking like, I don't want to be like these 4 individuals and stuff for there. Like I want to say one ran into the back of another person's car when they're at the light. With the legit, just fell asleep, dozed off, and they took their foot off the brake.
Yeah.
And just kind of tapped the person and stuff for there. And then they woke up he's like, huh? Hello, you just ran into the back of me. You shouldn't be sleeping behind the wheel. Now I'm going to have my insurance company. Should I call the cops? And then because they're freaked out because the situation took place, they're wide awake now or whatever, right? But I'm like, shouldn't really take all of that to tell you take your ass to bed.
No, I had I wouldn't say a friend of mine, but a couple of acquaintances that they played on this reggae sound, and they were coming back from a session they were doing out of town, and they fell asleep on the road, and the car went into the ditch, and that was it.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's like, nah, it's something not to take lightly.
No, most definitely.
Something not to take lightly.
Most definitely.
I would say, at the beginning, TV, but now maybe media, what you digest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of it people take from harmful. I've become very mindful of what I absorb, what I take in, and how much of it I take in.
I think you should. And it's so hard. I feel like today to kind of, I want to say, distinguish what's real and what's not. Too.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's an old clip of the actor's name is Delroy Lindo.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Bald head.
Yeah.
Distinguished gentleman, dude. I think the show was...
He's Jamaican too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's... I want to say it's like a lawyer show. I think it's not The Good Wife. I think it's Good Wife spinoff, the Good Law or Good something like that.
Right.
There's a clip from the show where he was on another show, which is a fake show, and the white guy's like, "Oh, but you guys say this you guys say the N-word all the time in your rap songs."
Right.
And he's like, "So say it."
I've seen the clip. Yeah.
So say it then, since we always say it, whatever say. He's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna say it, so say it." And people's like, "Yeah, that's how they always be. They see on the news they try to do it. No, it's from a show.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a clip from a show. He's a well-known, I guess, to me, he's a B-list actor because he's known.
Yeah.
To you, it might be like, that guy. So that makes him a C in your world. But I look at it stuff as where people are thinking that this is actual or news argument that was possibly on like a Fox News.
Right.
Where did you see a Fox News logo?
Well, the same thing with the whole remember the controversy with the Will Smith slap?
Oh,
and then the YouTube comedian recreated the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the only thing was like, it was like the people were just like in older clothes. So people thought it was something shit from way back. And I was like, nah, this happened after the Will Smith slap. This was not nothing recreated by Will Smith.
It was dated even days after the slap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to discern. So you're right. Media is another piece that we have to realize that, like, the media we take in and stuff is very harmful to us mentally.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question of the week goes to Kilowatt. WHAT.
Okay.
Who is your favorite villain? I thought about this after I said the Joffrey thing, but I realized my favorite villain right now currently is Omni-Man. Omni-Man from The Invincible.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, he annihilated that bootleg Justice League like that.
Yeah.
And then had the nerve to look at his son and say, yo, come with me. You're half my people and everything. He's like, what about mom? She's just a pet.
Yeah, he was cold. He was cold.
Yo, I died. I was like, and she heard it and she started crying. They're like, it's okay. She's like, it's okay. I was like, the man said your mom is a pet. It was supposed to be his wife. He's like, she's a pet. My favorite villain. Thanos has nothing on that man.
I was gonna say Thanos is my favorite villain.
Thanos, let's say this. Since we talk about like hero and villain mode and stuff.
Yeah.
Again, throughout the course of years and stuff, I'm starting to understand more and more some of the villainry.
Right.
But then I realized and stuff, that's just me. I think this is part of my roots being deep-seated in hell in order for me to grow to heaven.
Right.
To understand the dark in me, the bad within me and stuff. And I think Thanos, like even the concept of Thanos in the MCU.
Yeah.
That Thanos felt more relatable to me than the Marvel comic book Thanos himself.
Okay.
I think the Marvel Thanos, I think he fell in love with Lady Death or something like that.
Right.
And Lady Death was never portrayed in the movies.
Right.
But this Thanos, I don't know, to me had like a human element and stuff where like you saw or you kind of, you didn't agree.
Yeah,
but you kind of understood.
You seen the reasoning. You see the reasoning.
And then he was there and stuff on my list and everything. But then I'm at that point where I'm possibly might be Thanos.
Right.
But then to look like, oh no, these roots can go a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah.
This woman I fucked and who I impregnated, she's a pet.
Omni-Man.
Yo,
Omni-Marv.
Yo. Put that on the imagery. Yo.
Omni-Marv.
But yeah, who you got?
Yeah, no, Thanos.
Thanos?
Thanos is mine, man.
Okay.
And it's exactly for the same things that you just said. It's like, I get your reasoning, Thanos, but still, you want to snap half the planet away, man? I mean, I could be part of the half.
Right?
It's like, I get it, but please don't make me be. And there's no rhyme or reason to who goes and who stays.
I think
it's a roll of the dice.
And that's where I have the problem with. That's where I just have the problem with. Like, it's a straight, like, like, all right, some stays, some go and stuff, unbiased and everything like that. I'm like, I see where you're coming from, whatever, but I know some niggas that are well more deserving not being here than myself.
Exactly.
I can point out a few.
Exactly.
I can tell you an hairdresser too.
Something like, you ain't even say like, but I'm gonna take 3/3 of the evil ones with the snap. No.
No discrimination. Half. Wait. Am I on there before you? Your hands get too close together. Am I there or not? And he's like, you're not. Snap away.
Snap away, man. Snap away, man.
Oh, like, snap. T-Pain that shit.
I don't like, I felt it when Spidey was doing it. I'm disappearing.
Yeah, he's like, Mr. Stark. I was like, damn, Spidey? You know how much lives he saved compared to my black ass? Right? And he went? Mm-mm. Negative. Yeah, man. On that note. Call it a day. Are you ready for the Associated Sons this week?
I'm ready.
Oh, this is actually quite refreshing into your Thanos theory. Mm-hmm. All right. So Associated Sons this week says the heaviest problems need a strong mind to solve them. Thanos. So Thanos. No, but I feel like a lot of issues and stuff that you know what it is? Pressing issues.
Right.
Pressing issues produce pressure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to be strong not to crack underneath the pressure.
We'll certainly do.
It takes a self-aware, open-minded, like you need a lot of elements to just consider yourself a strong person or to be able to deal with a problem by your damn self.
Yeah.
Because you have to look at stuff as like, is this within your capability? Do you have the time, right? Are you pulling all the resources and stuff possible to make sure like things kind of work out into your odds? Are you making the proper call? Like say a decision, you might need multiple hands and
right.
You gotta be strong-minded to understand that.
Yeah.
Because I think a lesser person won't have the capabilities and they might just make a decision. It might be the wrong decision, or they might not even try to weigh out the pros and cons. They're just trying to make a quick decision.
Right.
So say the Sons. The heaviest problems need a strong mind to solve them. Yes.
Yeah.
We are here.
We're here.
We want to thank everybody for rocking with us for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Any words, any thoughts, anything on your mind you before you spill by?
Once again, prayers go out to those in Taiwan.
Yes.
And hopefully, hopefully we can continue on April with a more lighter note, more lighter tune.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, it's Autism Awareness Month and my birthday, damn it. It's my birthday month.
It's coming up, yeah, man.
Holy.
Come on, man.
Act like y'all got some sense, people.
No calamities before then.
Please. Say the calamities till May. That's why they call it May Day.
Right.
Once again, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above. Hit the like, hit the subscription, hit the follow buttons. We are here.
We're here.
And thank you for listening to Podical Sons. Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace.
Deuces.
The Podical Sons with not your average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.